Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are delighted to welcome all of you to Universitas Sebelas Maret and this conference. I am Ardeti Jilni Abdillah, and I will be the master of ceremony for holding this event. First of all, we are delighted to welcome Honorable Professor Dr. Renat Sajidan, MSc, as Vice Rector for Planning, Partnership, Business, and Information Affairs, Universitas Sebelas Maret. Honorable Professor Dr. Andes Suranto Cipto Wibisono, MSc, PhD, as Chairman of the Board of Professor Universitas Sebelas Maret. Honorable Professor Dr. Andes Pranoto, MSc, as Chairman of the International Webinar of National Global Strategic Issue. And as well, the Honorable, our keynote speaker. We have 4 academic talks that will be brought by Professor Dr. Renat Sajidan, MSc, Vice Rector for Planning, Partnership, Business, and Information Affairs, Universitas Sebelas Maret. Professor Arifin Angriawan, Professor of Strategic Management, Purdue University, Northwest USA. Associate Professor Dr. Masni Omar from College of Art and Sciences, University Utara, Malaysia. Professor Irawan Satriotomo, Department of Comparative Biosciences, University of Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. We also take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Albertus Yuwono, SSM, as the moderator for the plenary session. And to our beloved guests and participants. Welcome to International Webinar of National Global Strategic Issue, When Asleep in Achieving Quality and Globally Competitive Human Resources. It is an honor for us to welcome all of you to this great occasion. We appreciate you to taking off your busy schedule to join us today. International Webinar of National Global Strategic Issues is proudly presented by the Board of Professor Universitas Sebelas Maret. Taking the time of when asleep in achieving quality and globally competitive human resources, we hope this conference can provide a forum to accommodate researchers, academics, and practitioners to share the perspective related to the human resources development from cross-discipline in the new normal society. Ladies and gentlemen, on the next agenda, please join us to listen to our national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Please have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you. Distinguished to begin this conference, we are pleased to invite the chairman of the international webinar of National Global Strategic Issues, Professor Dr. Andes Pranoto, MSc, to deliver the report speed of the conference. Please welcome Prof. Pranoto.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome. Very good morning to one and all present here, and thank you for joining us in the 5th International Webinar Board of Professor Universitas Sebelas Maret. The Honorable Vice Rector of Planning, Partnership, Business and Information Affairs, Universitas Sebelas Maret, Professor Dr. Renat Sajidan, MSc. The Chairman of the Board of Professor Universitas Sebelas Maret, Professor Dr. Andes Suranto Cipto Wibisono, MSc, PhD. The Excellency invite speaker Prof. Arifin Anggriawan as a Professor of Strategic Management, Purdue University, Northwest, USA. Associate Professor Dr. Masni Omar, Director of Corporate Planning, UUM College of Art and Science, University Utara Malaysia, and Professor Irawan Satrio-Tomo, Department of Comparative Biosciences, University of Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. It's my pleasure to walk you through the conference and introduce you to the speaker and delegates that have come from all over the country today to share their knowledge and exchange our human resources horizon. Before we kickstart the conference, I would like to express my gratitude towards you who silently contribute to this event in order to make it a success. This wouldn't have been possible without the support of each and every present here. Today's conference has about 185 participants participating from various fields, making this conference a truly international conference in spirit. Thank you to all the committee, especially the Javanology Center of Universitas Sebelas Maret. Thank you and enjoy the 5th International Webinar Board of Professor Universitas. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof. Pranoto, for the report speed of the conference. It's now my deep pleasure to invite the Chairman of the Board of Professor Universitas Sebelas Maret, Professor Dr. Andes Suranto Cipto Wibisono, MSc, PhD, to deliver the welcoming speech and to open the conference officially. Please welcome Professor Suranto Cipto Wibisono.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to all contributors of the International Webinar Board of Professor in Sebelas Maret University, the Honorable Vice Rector for Planning, Partnership, Business Information Affairs of Universitas Sebelas Maret, Professor Dr. Sajidan, MSc, the Excellency invited speaker, Professor Arifin Anggriawan, as Professor of Strategic Management, Purdue University, Northwest, USA, Associate Professor Dr. Masni Omar, Director of Corporate Planning, UUM College of Art and Science, University of Utara Malaysia, and Professor Irawan Satriotomo, Department of Comparative Biobusiness, University of Wisconsin, and the chairman of the third commission, Dewan Professor of UNS, Professor Sahid Teguh Widodo, and Professor Pranoto, for all paper contributors, for all the valuable effort, the committee which make this conference happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the internal webinar of which is one of the several prestigious forums conducted over the last 3 years, discussing and exploring the current issues related to human resources development, academic, ethnic, and conduct, socio-cultural issues, university achievement, etc. The purpose of the webinar is for exploring ideas and inspiration for experts in various fields in supporting the UNS leap to achieve quality and globally competitive human resource from this webinar. I expect to be a discussion forum for developing national global strategic issues. UNS live in achieving quality and globally competitive human resource. Ladies and gentlemen, special thanks are directed for all your considerable contribution to the success of the International Webinar 5, all invited speakers, all the organizing committee and scientific committee, as well as the advisory board, particularly the Rector of Sebelas Maret University, Professor Jamal Biboho, and Director for Planning, Partnership, Business and Information Affairs, Sebelas Maret University, Professor Sajidan, as the Light Director, UNS for 2023 to 2028. My special thanks also to all committee, and I wish all of you enjoy this international webinar with, and see you in the 6th webinar board of Professor next year. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof. Suranto Cipto Wibisono, for opening the conference officially. Ladies and gentlemen, next on schedule, we will have a photo session. Please to our honorable speakers and all of the participants to turn on your camera. And let's smile. Once again, smile. Okay, thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin the plenary lecture session that will be led by our moderator, Mr. Albertus Yuwono, SSM, to carry this session. Mr. Albertus Yuwono gained both his master's and bachelor's degree in linguistics and translation from Universitas Sebelas Maret. He is currently a teaching staff at English Diploma Program, Vocational School, Universitas Sebelas Maret. His interests are in translation studies, interpreting, public speaking, and voiceover. With this session, please welcome Mr. Albertus Yuwono.
Well, thank you so much for the Master of Ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome at the International Webinar 5, Board of Professor, Universitas Sebelas Maret, under the theme National Global Strategic Issues, UNS, Leap in Achieving Quality and Globally Competitive Human Resources. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I know that actually our first session will be the keynote speaker session. However, due to things, we're going to move on first to the plenary session first, as we're going to have 3 invited speakers. All right, and as you know that we have the 3 invited speakers, Professor Arifin Angriawan, Associate Professor Dr. Masdi Omar, and also Professor Irawan Satrio Right, so ladies and gentlemen, before we start the plenary session, I would like to read a brief curriculum vitae of the three invited speakers. The first one is Professor Arifin Andriawan, Professor of Strategic Management, Chair, Department of Managerial Studies, Purdue University Northwest from the United States. He received his PhD degree in Business Administration from Southern Illinois University's Avondale in 2009, and his research interests include top management teams, strategic decision-making, competitive strategy development, business model management, and financial performance. And after Professor Andriawan, we're going to move on to the second session, which will be Associate Professor Dr. Masni Omar, Assistant Vice Chancellor, UUM College of Arts and Sciences, University Utara, Malaysia. All right, so I'm going to read a brief about, okay. Hang on, where I do put it? Okay. Okay. Well, we're going to move on here, and there you go. Oh, okay, maybe this one. There you go. Okay, Associate Professor Masdi Omar is an associate professor at the School of Computing, or SOC, and a research fellow of the Institute for Advanced and Smart Digital Opportunities, University Utara, Malaysia. Currently, she is the Assistant Vice Chancellor of UUM College of Arts and Sciences and the Director of Corporate Planning Division. Previously, she was the Deputy Director of Institute of Quality Management, UUM, for 3 years. During her tenure, she was responsible to manage, plan, implement, and monitor the activities related to university strategic agenda, such as strategic plan, ranking, and rating for higher education, academic accreditation, as well as data quality of higher education. And for the third invited speaker, we're going to have Professor Irawan Satriotomo, Department of Comparative Biosciences, University of Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. Professor Irawan Satriotomo obtained his PhD degree in neuroscience from Kagawa Medical University, Japan. And also he has certification, board certified medical affairs specialist from Accreditation Council for Medical Affairs. And he is the president and founder of Exomet Therapeutic and board of director and founder. And during his busy schedule, he also teaches. That was really great. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have the session for each invited speaker, 30 minutes presentation for each speaker. And before we move on to the presentation, I would like to remind you, if you have any questions related to the materials delivered by the presenters, please feel free to type in the chat box of Zoom. All right. Although also we're going to open microphone for interactive questions later in the question and answer. Once again, you can type, okay, so you don't forget. Maybe you listen to the presentation and maybe you don't want to forget. That's why you can type the question first in the chat box, and later I'm going to read the questions. And don't forget to address who's the questions for. Okay, and we also are going to have live interactive by open mic on your Zoom. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, now I will present you the first invited speaker, Professor Arifin Andriawan. The time is yours, and you have.
Good morning, everyone. To Professor Sajidan, Vice Rector, Professor Cipto Wibisono, Professor Widodo, Board of Chairmen, Chairman of the Board of UNS, professors, Professor Pranoto, Webinar Organizer Chair, distinguished speakers, Professor Omar and Professor Satrio Tomo, UNS Board of Professors, dear colleagues, participants, presenters, good morning, everyone. Welcome and thank you. First of all, my name is Aryan Grewan, and I would like to share with you today some thoughts about human resources in 5.0 society. Can you see my screen?
Not yet, sir.
Can
we
you see my
haven't.
screen?
Not yet, Professor.
Okay.
Right.
Let me share it.
Okay.
Share screen. All right. Okay.
It's loading, Professor. It's still loading, I think, Professor.
Still loading?
It says on Zoom like Professor Arifin has started screen, but we still the PowerPoint. Maybe you can start again, Professor.
Are we good now?
Still I can't see. Still cannot see your share screen.
Still cannot?
Yeah, still cannot.
What is wrong? Let's do one more time.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Got it?
Yes, we got it right now.
All right, let me make it bigger.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not sure. It doesn't allow me. Okay, all right.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So human resources in the era of 5.0 society. Here are some of the key points that I would like to share with you. So first of all, we are going to see the industrial revolutions, and then maybe we have a short, brief discussion about 5.0 society. And then the second theme, we'll take a look about the purpose of life, values, education, and work of human resources in the future. And I would like to focus a little bit on future work and job performance. And by the end of my session, I would like to highlight some role of higher education. Okay. So first of all, I try to summarize this brief on this brief PowerPoint to describe the past industrial revolutions and where we are heading to the 5.0 society. So on the left column, the first column, you see roughly the time frame, the enablers, technological, social, cultural impacts. And then the last column, we see the emergence of some of the industries in each industrial revolutions. So roughly 10,000 years ago, enablers, animals, and hunting. Technological, social, cultural impacts, for example, settlements. And then the first industrial revolution, empowered by steam engines and railroads. We see technological and social cultural impacts such as mechanical productions, rise of cities, and somewhere at the turn of the 20th century, the enablers, machine power, electricity, production assembly line, routes, telecommunication, and we saw mass production, urbanization, immigration. And in the 60s, 90s, the power of computers, the internet, we experience globalization, mass customization. And at the turn of the 21st century, the power of analytics, the 3G, the 4G, the IoT, the big data, AI, cloud computing, technological, social, and cultural impacts, smart factories, some of the industries, new industries, sensors, 3D printing, robots. Okay, and currently, many people believe that we are heading to 5.0 society. And in the next slide, I'm going to explain more what we mean by 5.0 society. And then from there, I'm going to touch on some of the qualities of human resources and education related to 5.0 society. For now, I would like to emphasize that the most important enablers in the 5.0 society, or sometimes people refer it to the fifth industrial revolution, is about the power of human and neural or technological power, neural power of computers. Okay. So what do you mean by 5.0 society? I believe I encounter the term 5.0 society in one of the speech by Prime Minister, Japan Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, I believe sometime in 2017. So he was talking about the vision of 5.0 society. And what does it mean by 5.0 society? It's basically about the utilization of technology to make human life more fulfilling, happier. So it's a kind of human-centered society. So human beings will be the center of the development, and the enabler is technology, and especially the digital technology. So more broadly, 5.0 society at the center is a humanity and also sustainable environment and resilient economy. So that is the view of a 5.0 society. So just imagine human beings become better, fulfilling, think from any point of view, education, health, entertainment, work, energy, transportation, climate, environment, everything. Okay, and then on the left-hand side, you see the 4 industrial revolution. And the technology here, very important, is the digital technology. So the 3 circles here are telling us that biological, such as human beings, environment, physical, maybe from your phone, from your cars, from your factories, from your refrigerators, from your computers, and through sensors, the biology and physical beings send data to the cyberspace, the digital space. And then the digital space, such as enablers, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things. Okay, so they process the data from your cars, from my refrigerators, from my computers, and then through the power of artificial intelligence, it sends the feedback to your car, to your refrigerators, to your computers, to the economy, to the factories, to the environment, to the farm. Okay, so as a result, we improve, human beings improve their health, their education, their entertainment, energy consumption, transportation, and then many other aspects related to humanity, which I will show you in the next slide. So hopefully, I'm able to express the idea of how the digital space, the digital technology is playing a crucial role here. Cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning. This is the neural power. It is the one that gives the feedback how we can improve our economy, our society, and our environment. So this is what people mean by 5.0 society. So at the center, we can say it is about technology, especially the digital technology, and the outcome, the object is about society, human-centered society, humanity. So several things are related to humanity, society, social polarization, crimes, poverty, education, inequalities, sustainable environment, pollution, deforestation, clean energy, disaster preparedness, others, resilient economy, inclusion, growth, employment, ethics, and many others. So I truly believe that human resources in the future moving forward to 5.0 society must embrace humanity, sustainability, and resilience economy. It could be part of their life, the purpose of their life. They cherish sustainable environment, humanity, their values, and 5.0 society impact on their education and their work. Okay, so hopefully I make myself clear. 5.0 society and it impacts on our life, our values, our education and work. So I spent some time thinking about organizational behaviors in the future. So I was looking at one of the OB textbook, and then it says that job performance is a function of job satisfaction, stress, motivation, trust, organizational justice, ethical behavior in the organization, learning and decision making. So these are some of the crucial factors impact on job performance or productivity. And then giving the previous several slides, I was imagining what could be some of the key points related to each of the drivers of job performance, such as job satisfaction. So in my mind, younger generations nowadays, job is very important, but many of them, purpose of life is also very important or even more important. So money is not as important as purpose of life. So you see the shift, the driver of job satisfaction in younger generations. And this is important because they embrace, they cherish modern economy, modern profitability, but also society and sustainability of the environment. And then I was thinking about stress, very important drivers of job performance in the future. It seems to me a lot of them jobs are going to be non-routine, and it seems to me upskilling, reskilling are going to be very important. And I'm not sure, are we going to be stay connected 24 hours online and available? And then motivation, autonomy, social capital, flexibility, transparency. And I think these are all is going to be a very important drivers, important values of future generation. And of course, ethics, empathy, collaboration, teamwork, creativity, patience. So I think these are all very important part of organizational behaviors and values of future human resources. So I believe key characteristics of the future of work: non-routine cognitive, personal competency to work together, such as communication, teamwork, social skills, and also very important, how much we like our job, engagement, commitment, innovation, and courage. I think these are all the true human quality, and they are going to be very important related to human resources productivity in the future. So now we have discussed the biological, the digital, the physical, okay, and then I emphasize on the importance of the digital space, the digital technologies, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT. So these are crucial technologies. These will be the technologies that collect the data from everywhere, from your Facebook, from your YouTube, from everywhere. And then artificial intelligence, they are going to provide feedback for us, for our cars, for refrigerators, for airplane, for train, for everything, how they can function better. And similarly, we use the technology to promote sustainability, to create more humanist society, and so on and so on. And because of that force, we see a framework, the Teach Me model. We are going to discuss a little bit later, learning in the future. So literacy is important, competencies are important, characters are also very, very important. And related to work, I believe human resources in the future should be lifelong learners. Okay, we need to be career ready, career growth, career change, and personal growth. So this is roughly the stages in the education for quality human resources in the future. I combine two research, the first one by Delors, and then the other one by the Boston Consulting Group on the left and on the right. Okay, and then they are talking about future education. So the first one, they conceptualize education and learning into learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, learning to be. Okay, and then on the right-hand side is the result. We know literacies, we develop competencies and characters. And these two combined is the one that we see earlier, the Teach Me model. Okay, so some of the examples, what do you mean by learning to know? Reasoning, problem solving, thinking, especially critical thinking, learning to do, occupational skills, learning to do, how do we work together, communication, teamwork, social skills, learning to live together, empathy, inclusivity, respect, cultural awareness, personal values, and managing conflict, learning to be ethical, social, and cultural. Okay, so these are some form of the qualities. It's more than occupational. It also includes learning to know, critical thinking, reasoning. It also relates to live together, respect, inclusivity, empathy. It also includes learning to be ethical, cultural, and social. So these are some very basic requirement for future human resources. I believe I still have 6 minutes to go. So, university. So earlier, I mentioned a little bit about education. So let's take a look at the second column. Okay, college ready, and then university, career ready, and lifelong generalizable skills. These are the soft skills. These are the writing skills, math, communication skill, critical thinking skills. These are the skills that allows a future human resources to upskill, to reskill. So upskill means that you are moving up. Reskill means that you have to retool yourself and then you move to different type of jobs or occupations. And then the last one, probably as we live longer and longer, maybe personal growth. Okay, so this is some of the point of view from the university. And then this is my last slide. So what I'm thinking is that if the 5.0 society is so important, the economy is so important, humanity, society is important, environment is so important, maybe we need to approach our teaching, our service, the professors' service or pengabdian masyarakat from the sustainable engagement point of view. So our services, we teach our students how they can improve maybe a resilient economy, maybe economy and environmental sustainability, maybe humanity and economy, and a very important part here is the technology. Okay, so professors and then maybe the education, we start from higher education to promote, to teach society 5.0. So as I mentioned earlier, 5.0 society is about the utilization of technology to improve human quality of life. And the quality of life can mean their health, their education, their transportation, their entertainment, their work, energy consumption, the environment, the pollution, the water quality, the climate, the environment, so many different things. So can we in school, can we identify some of them that we can contribute? Maybe the products, maybe services, maybe we can improve the process, maybe we can improve the business model. Who are the stakeholders? Maybe the community, the neighborhood, the village, the towns, the cities. Who else can involve? Enterprises, for-profit, non-profit, cooperative, regime of support, international aid, government policies, philanthropic organizations, large corporations through their CSR. So we can build support from the stakeholders, identify opportunities. What are the things that we can contribute to the 5.0, better community, better society, a better quality of living. And then how the innovation piece, the second column, according to the ADKAR method of change, it says that, first of all, we need to identify, aware of the needs for change. And then we need to build desire to participate and support. And then we need to identify the knowledge that is how to change, okay, and then reinforce to sustain the change. So hopefully, the value is more than profit, is more than financial performance of the firm, but it's more than that. It is share value. It is stakeholder value, value for shareholders, value for society, value for the environment, what people call the triple bottom line. So I think I'm running out of time, 5:55 now. And I think my very brief conclusion, macro trends, digital, green, inclusive, altruistic, and global integration, future of work, non-routine, personal competencies, emotional attachment to work, higher education, Gen Ed, professional education, personal growth, lifelong learner, skill, sustainable engagement or entrepreneurship. Some by bibliography. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Professor Arifin Angriawan. That was really interesting presentation. So 5.0 society, utilization of technology to improve human quality of life. The most interesting part for me, myself, is the seal for higher education professor, social, emotion, academic learning, to know, to do, to live together, and to be. For me, if when first heard about that, it's like building a relationship, getting to know, and then to do, to live together, to be a great family. Sorry. All right, thank you so much, Professor Arifin Angriawan. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you have any questions for Professor Arifin, type it in the chat box first, and later I'm going to read your questions, and also I'm going to open chances for you to open your mind. But now we're going to move on to the next invited speaker, Professor Dr. Masni Omar. Hello, Professor. Professor
Hello.
Omar. Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Alright.
hear you.
Okay, good. So I will share my screen, right? My slide.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Yes, we can see it. Right. Okay, there you go. The time is yours, Professor Omar.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to all. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think Bapak Albertus, Iwono, as our moderator for this session. My honorary Vice Rector of Planning, Partnership, Business and Information Affairs, Prof. Sajidan, right? And sorry, let me again. Okay, and then all the chairman or professor, board of professor, Prof. Suranto, if I'm not mistaken, my honorary, our distinguished or respected speakers, Prof. Angriawan just now, I think another one, Prof. Irawan, if I'm not mistaken, all the speakers, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Masni Omar from University Utara Malaysia. Firstly, I would like to express my appreciation to the Universitas Sebelas Maret, UNS, especially the Secretariat, Board of Professors, Universitas Sebelas Maret, which is Prof. Sahid and Prof. Vini. Thank you for inviting me to this great event, international or the 5th International Webinar Board of Professors, UNS, with the theme of the webinar is National Global Strategic Issues, UNS LEAP, in achieving quality and globally competitive human resources. So this is a great platform whereby we can share our knowledge with regard to the theme of webinar. I have been appointed as an invited speaker and been assigned to deliver a speech with the title, The Roles of Human Resources in Technology Transfer of University from Corporate Planning Perspective. Actually, my background is from computer sciences, but not from strategic management or human resources, but I will try my best to share my experiences as the head of strategic planning, corporate planning in University Utara Malaysia. Right. Go to the next slide. So before I proceed with this, the core of my content today, my sharing of knowledge about corporate planning related to the human resources and technology, I would like to share some of the fact file of UUM, UM is a number 6 of public university in Malaysia. So it is located in northern region of Malaysia, 10 kilometers away from Thailand, border from Malaysia and Thailand. And our university focus on management actually. And now we are 38 years old, 1984 years of establishment. We have 2 campuses. The main campus in Sintok, Kedah, okay, the northern region of Malaysia. Another campus is in KL, Kuala Lumpur. The campus size is around 1,000 hectares, right? We have 17 schools, meaning that we have what we call pusat pengajian, under 3 colleges, which is one of the colleges is College of Arts and Sciences. And the College of Arts and Sciences, we have School of Computing, like School of Quantitative Sciences, School of Education. We have another, the second college is about College of Business, which is the big college. We have School of Business Management, School of Accounting, School of Islamic Banking, right? And another college, the third college, which is College of Law and International Studies. And we also have law program here, and also international studies, and also tourism. And from 70 schools, we have 3 graduate schools that cater the field of arts and sciences, management, and also law and international studies. So currently we have around, based on the staff, we have around 1,220 academic staff, supporting with 1,703 admin staff, meaning that almost 3,000 staff in UUM. So when we talk about students, we have around 30,000 students in bachelor degree and almost 6,000 postgraduate students. And we also have foundation student around 223, and total out we have 36,000, more than 36,000 total of students. Around students association and clubs, we have more than 100, and we have 27 research and service-based center of excellence. Now we have alumni, more than 150K of alumni. I believe UNS, we also have professor that's alumni from UUM. I think Prof. Sahid just now. And then actually UUM is fully residential university. All of our students stay in campus. We have 15 student residential hall that accommodate around 17,000 accommodations. And at the moment we have like 84% of graduate employability, meaning that after 6 months of graduation, our students will get their job according to their field. So this is a brief overview of UUM. So for more information, you can just go directly to uum.edu.my of our website. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I would say that I quote Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, this is the quotation: treat your employees right so they won't use your internet to search for a new job. So in order to ensure that your university remains competitive, remains as a world-leading, world-class university, we must continue to recruit and to retain the very best staff, right? And employees, we know that we feel secure with their job and they will perform better. Okay, this is, I believe, where they feel secure, they will perform better. And we need to have more engagement with activities that can increase collaboration among employees and motivate them to work together towards to achieving organizational goals or university goals. So this is the main idea of either in the human resource in the university or any organization, right? Okay, when we talk human resource management, okay, I'm not an expert in human resource, but we all know that all those, the components in HRM. We have like human resource planning, about recruitment, about selection. We need to know about the professional development or training, how to develop a human development, then in terms of performance appraisal, awards and recognition, and compensation. So for example, in human resource planning, we involve how university of how organizational goals can establish. We need to establish a strategy for achieving university goals, and how we can develop a comprehensive set of plan to integrate, to coordinate, and then activities which is part of the HR strategy. So we know that in university or any organization, people are the foundation. Okay, people is asset. And then for the university success or organization success, and the quality of our academic, quality of our research, quality of professional and support staff is critical for sustainability of a university. Thus, as in the corporate planning division, of course, in every university we have this, or in organization we have HR department. So I just want to share our department in UUM, which is what we call Jabatan Pendaftar or Registrar Department. We have divided into 4 main division. The first one is about human resource management division that cater on to ensure that all the process flow can work effectively, efficiently, that focus on the recruitment of academic staff and also the admin staff, right? And then we have also human resource services division. Okay, this is much more on cater on the service delivery. Okay, more on the pension or all those things about services, about discipline. Of course, we put under this division. And then we also have HRM, development management, development division that caters on the to ensure like our human capital is knowledgeable, can be trained, they are competent, that focus on what of the university strategic needs, and then what are the country needs, all right, through the training policy. Yeah? We also in university, we have provide focuses on the career path. We focus also about talent management, focus on the advanced study and training, and also professional development. The next division is about management and governance division that cater more on the coordinator for the meetings to the board of director, and also manage about the strategic plan. So about administrative staff, about the information system. So we all that's unit we put under management and governance division, right? So this is to ensure that good governance we can practice in our university, right? So I will share with you, because I'm from corporate planning, so maybe on the practical side, about UUM strategic plan. So for your information, okay, in UUM we have started our strategic plan of phase 1 in 2010. Okay, in 2010 until 2015, we are in phase 1. Then we moved to phase 2, 2016 until 2020 in phase 2. And then now we are in phase 3, which is in 2021 until 2025. So in this phase 3, so in terms of human resource, at the beginning of our strategic plan, we are more focusing on talent management, right? And human capital development. But now in the phase 3, so I try to relate with the first speaker just now, looking at the technology side. So we try to blend about the human resource and also about digital, what we call digital campus in our university. So our main idea in the human resource part is to ensure that we can provide quality services to our stakeholder. So our stakeholder could be our industry partners, university partner, and also our students, of course, and our parents, okay, parents for the students, and then of course admin staff and academic staff. So the strategic plan, of course, will in line. I believe all those university will in line with all the vision and mission of university. So the vision or mission of university for UUM is to be an eminent management university, because we focus more on management. Our mission is to educate leaders with holistic characteristics to serve the global community. So at the same time, because the strategic plan is the pillar of our moving forward, okay, to ensure the sustainability of a university. Of course, they have several agenda that we need to achieve. I believe UNS also know about this world ranking, okay, about QS ranking, THE ranking. And this is the world ranking, but we also, in Malaysia, we also have our what we call ranking and rating, also what we call MyRA, and also Setara. So this is based on agenda. So meaning that when we develop our strategic plan, it must based on agenda. But university also set their own agenda, how they put this in what we call the KPI, key performance indicator. So this is our goals for strategic plan, phase 3. Okay, I will share with you. Yes, this is the what we call strategic plan. This is the pillar that we have 6 trusts now for phase 3. The first one, trust 1, is about academic excellence. So we will talk about all those academic matters, how we want to develop quality programs, academic programs, how we can improve about the micro-credential programs. So this is all, we put all those KPI under this trust, what we call the academic excellence. Then we have another one, Trust 2, which involve research excellence, more on academic matters also. As academic, okay, if we are academic, we need to publish, okay, we need to carry out research, we need to publish, we have a publication, journals, all those things. We put it in the Trust 2, research excellence. Then under Trust 3, we also have more on the activities about the community activities, or we want to support the SDGs agenda, okay? So we have Trust 3 about sustainable community and industrial engagement. So this is what we put under Trust 3. Trust 4, which more focus on financial sustainability for wealth creation, okay? So this is Trust 4. Trust number 5, okay, this is part of human resource, where we put as service excellence. Last time we put like talent management, but now we put as service excellence as trust number 5. And the trust number 6 is about holistic graduate. So this trust will cater all those things about students development and alumni. So this is our pillars for phase 3 of strategic plan. Of course, this is based on the quality management system. We are using PDCA, plan, do, what we call track and action approach, and risk-based approach. Because every KPI and PI where we have put, we need to assess all those risks. We have to make the risk assessment also, supposedly when we put the target for each of the KPI for the university, right? So this is again the strategic trust and prime objective for strategic plan. Okay, we have just now, as I mentioned just now, about academic excellence. We want to be the preferred university. Trust 2, research excellence, which is to create impactful research innovation ecosystem. Trust 3 is about community, as I said, SDG, industrial engagement. We have Trust 4 for financial excellence, and this part is Trust 5, service excellence, which is towards a quality service delivery. So this is the main idea for human resources part, right? And the Trust 6 about holistic graduates, okay, to develop well-balanced students and increase graduate employability. So this is the general idea of strategic trust and prime objective for UUM, okay? And I believe all those universities will have this trust related to human resource. But we put this as service excellence, okay, for phase 3. Okay, this is our strategy in terms of thrust number 5 related to service excellence. First one, of course, we want to create a pool of subject experts, right? This is more on highlight more on the quality academic staff. And of course, it also relate with the upskilling and reskilling training and improve the professional development among our academic staff. And next one, we also need to develop high performance of administrative staff. Okay, we need to have a balance of academic and admin staff to work together, collaborate together to drive our university. All right. And then we need to have we need to measure to ensure that our well-being of staff are good, all right, excellent, increase staff well-being and satisfaction. Another one, of course, we focus on the human part, but this need to support of technology as enabler to set up a digital campus, and we need to improve our digital ecosystem. So this is our main idea for this strategic number 5, which is a service excellence. Okay, I will give you some more example. Okay, how to provide or towards a service quality delivery. So in our plan, okay, in terms of corporate planning perspective, we divided into several dimensions, okay, to ensure that what we want to achieve. We put like the 3 dimensions. First one is about academic scholarship. So in terms of academic scholarship, we focus on percentage of international staff. We're looking at international staff to increase our staff with PhD qualification. Alhamdulillah, now we have around 85% of our staff have PhD qualification. And of course, we also want our staff have industrial experience, right? And also have a professional qualification. This is some of the example when we talk about academic scholarship. All right. So another one is about service delivery. Of course, technology is an enabler, right? So we have to ensure that to improve the capability of the administrative staff, I mean the admin staff, and looking at the process quality and connected campus. So this is much more towards how IT will support all across all this work process in our university, right? And then we also looking at the achievement and recognition of our staff, looking at the stewardships, leadership of the staff at both national and international levels. So this is some of the example. Of course, into the operational level, this is much more on the strategic part. Of course, we can move on the tactical part and also about the operational part. Okay. Okay, so this is example of how the academic methods or pathways that reflect on academic scholarship. We have UniTP Orange Book from our Ministry of Higher Education. So we know that all the core academic responsibility or all academic staff are expected to have baseline competency, which are in teaching, in research, in the services, right? Management and also administration, after which they may focus and they may be excel in this attribute. So we need to recognize the attributes of different talent excellence in our academics, right? So we have one is inspiring educator. We're looking at the staff that exhibits creativity, in innovation, right, in teaching and learning and assessment. So we introduce innovation of teaching, right? So we put them in the inspiring educator. Maybe they make an outstanding contribution nationally, internationally, in terms of teaching and learning, right? Then we also have accomplished researcher that of academic staff that demonstrate excellence in research and procedure of their significant works in a particular field. They make a significant contribution to the body of knowledge nationally or internationally. All right. So they also able to attract major grants or major research grants. So they put this, we put this accomplished researcher. Then we move to the next one is about experienced practitioners, whereby the academic researcher, academic can demonstrate excellent professional practice. Yeah? They will have like in the field of specialization, contributes to the field of practice in national or international. They also can make a major contribution and innovation in terms of respective professional, right? So another one is about institutional leader. Okay, this one is our academic staff that can demonstrate excellent in institutional leadership. So this is another career path for academic, whereby they can lead, whereby they can empower institution to serve the community and the nation to achieve the national agenda. They can also have like excellent leadership skill or best practices that leading change to the organization. They can also, they are recognized figure national and in the international level. So this is just an example of academic pathway whereby every university in Malaysia actually we need to look at the guideline of our UniTP Orange Book, which is to strengthening the academic career pathway and leadership development, right? So next is about technology. Okay, this is more, and we believe that, of course, to provide excellent services, okay, we need to have technology to assist us, right? So when we have a technology, a good application, we can provide better services and better decision making. For example, in corporate planning, of course, we are data center, we have data warehouse. So from the data warehouse, we have a data, lots of data. We can predict successful, succession plan. Okay, we have a profiling for every staff to ensure we can predict which pathway that they can go into it, right? So of course, this is play around with the AI techniques, all those things in computer science techniques, right? Of course, when we have technology, we can reduce cost and efficiency. We can increase the efficiency of our work and effective management. Of course, related to IT, when we talk about human resource, there's a lot of application of human resource. So whereby I will share with you later about some of the application that we in we develop in-house for this kind of technology or software application. This is some of the example. So I'm not sure how many times left for me to talk. All right. So this is Connected Campus Cluster, whereby we have clustered it into teaching and learning. So this is part of under human resource, or what we call the trust part about service excellence. We're looking at we have virtual classroom and mobile learning. Now we move on the online assessment, personalized learning, and virtual lab. Okay, we have been set up this part. And in terms of cluster environment, because we are fully residential, okay, university, we have the bus tracking system, we have a bus here, looking at the smart energy, okay, management system, and also about virtual desktop and virtual server infrastructure to have a cost saving here, to increase productivity, and also we need to simplify server management in our university. Of course, in terms of segment of cluster communication, we have campus augmented reality and digital way of finding the system. Of course, we have good infrastructure or backbone and data center here. In terms of health also, we have integrated smart health system. And then to have a good governance and management, we have fully digitalized HR and university process, document management, integrated resource management. Yes, now we have a virtual meeting like Metaverse. We launch this end of this December about e-wallet, about digital ID, all those customers service chatbot, RFID, about convocation system, e-scroll, financial integrated, or what we call FIM system, and web-based application. I think more than 100 application that we develop in-house for these connected campus clusters. Right, so I'll give you some more example. This is just example, sorry, about mobile apps for staff, not for staff only. We also have developed the mobile apps for parents and also to the students. But this is just give you some example of mobile apps for staff. I mean, for the staff to access. We have, yes, of course, home about show today's event, about our QR code to access the door, scan for attendance. About the services, of course, we have leave application, duty, official duty, about attendance report, meeting or events detail, about COTSA. This is for the COVID report, okay. Work from home attendance, WFH attendance, staff directory, and about vaccination details. This is much more on the services application. About financial, of course, we have payment, payslip details, about the claim of the status, all those things we just can access through our mobile phone. And about notification, any kind of latest announcement. And there's more application about profile, about to check someone performance, about details about the guideline or about academic. So this is some of the example of application, software application that we have in our campus. This is another thing which is for me very crucial for the university in terms of corporate plan, because we have a data, we have so many systems, so how we can extract all this data from multiple systems and integrate them, then make it as a report, right? So in corporate planning, we developed system, what we call SPIS system, strategic planning information system. We integrate all those data from multiple systems and we track all those KPI or PI. For every trust, then we make a report. Of course, the report need to present to the until the board of director of university quarterly. So we keep improving our system, strategic planning information system. And of course, it's based on trust and based on agenda also, if you are more on ranking, so we can extract the data from ranking about rating also. So this is just the example. And of course, we also have a dashboard, okay, to make a better decision making for the top management. So now we move towards on the what we call predictive analytic, right? Because the dashboard is only descriptive, only show about the data. So how the data can support of decision making. All right. So now we're moving to predictive analytic. All right. To ensure to support our top management decision making. Right. So this is about data management. So I think I come to the last slide. About I can make some conclusion or remarks here about university can derive competitive advantage if they, of course, they need to blend about human resource and also about information technology. I mean about the technology to ensure that we as a university remain competitive. We can move toward the high performance university and sustainable university, then hopefully it will increase the employees' productivity and also can of our stakeholder can satisfy of our stakeholder based on our services that we serve to them, right? So I think with that, thank you very much. Thank you for your attention to my sharing session about this topic. All right. Thank you. So if you have any questions or anything, you can email me, kmazni@um.edu.my. So with that, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Professor Omar. Okay, and maybe if you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, for Professor Omar, you can type in the chat box now or later. We're going to open mic to ask questions directly to the speaker. And yes, Professor Omar, I agree with one of your saying that treat your employees well, and then their performance will be better. So I've got a friend working as a part-timer in a coffee shop, and instead of his boss, instead of asking like how much the project, like how much customers today, but he repeatedly asks like, how are you? How's your family? And then it feels good for my friend as an employee, feels like really treated as human. And yes, I think he performs better than asking like how much the profit, how much blah 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 things. So I agree with you. And the most important thing also is about the app. I think it's really great innovation for staff, parents, and also students. So I think students at UUM cannot skip classes. Is that so?
Yes, we will bar student if your attendance less than 80%.
Okay, because parents also got the details of what's
Yeah.
happening in the campus, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next speaker. All right, our third invited speaker, Professor Irawan Satriotomo. How's it going, Professor Satriotomo?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for inviting me in this very great session. Yeah.
All right, Professor Satriotomo. Now you have roughly 30 minutes for your presentation. It's yours.
Thank you. So you guys can see my slide. All right. So thank you so much. So before that, before I starting my talk, actually I would like to be really thankful for this invitation to organizing committee, as well as for the rector of UNS and vice rector, Professor Dr. Sajidan, MSE, and also the board of the Professor UNS, Professor Dr. Suranto Cipto Wibisono, and my colleagues, Professor Arifin and also Professor Omar from University Utara Malaysia. So today's talk actually is a bit far from my background. My background is in neuroscience, and I'm nothing to do with this human resources. But I would like to touching in the base with the what they emphasize about the world-class university by their definition, as well as the how our university in Indonesia actually is the rank or the how our university stand, and also I would like to dissect about the problem and obstacle that we have right now in our country in terms of the education or higher education. So I give a talk. Actually, this title is given by the organizing committee to talk about the strategy for human resources improvement toward world-class university. But because I saw the slide and also the talk from Professor Arifin and Professor Omar that already touching base on the administration staff and the preparation. So I would like to emphasize more to the people in the front line of the higher education, the lecturers, the professors. So when we're talking about the world-class university, the world-class define this. I just taken out from the Oxford English Dictionary is the quality of standard regarding as outstanding throughout the incomparable or to able to compete with the best in the world. So this term is really quite I call it quite struggling. So if we see the top overall university like Oxford University, Harvard, and other things, you see that almost is in Europe or North Americans. Yeah. And when we try to see in university in Asia, most of these university, the best university in Asia is what dominance by Chinese or Hong Kong or our colleagues from Japan and from South Korea. So then when we try to see that in Southeast Asia, yeah, we see that our university is ranked, yeah, like University of Indonesia is in 9. Yeah. So why would ranking is become matters? This is very important. So why? Because we know that now the higher education becoming more global. So people moving forward, and our student going to outside of the country, or the people from the foreign country also coming to our country to study. So what is that? The knowledge is the key drivers for international competitiveness. This is very important. And the second one is increasing desire for comparative information. And then there is two, yeah, Professor Omar already mentioned about TSE, the higher education, and the QS, international independent expert in higher education. So we always seeing this as our standards. Yeah. So then we raise this awareness about the 500 university involved in the project. If you see the scorecard that made by the TSE or the QS is composed by the research excellence, is almost like 20%, and then teaching excellence, and then international faculty is very small number actually. It's quite intriguing for me. And then international student, you see that also is not much, but the larger part of the scorecard is what? Academic peer review. This is probably what I would like to mention, and I will touching base and also discuss more about this later on. So the world-class university. So if we're talking, for example, Harvard, MIT, Oxford University, we always is seeing is the top universities are focused on research. Are they neglecting the teaching? Actually, the answer is not. Both have competitiveness in education as well as in research. So there is actually no there's no what I call the competition between research versus teaching. Yeah, both have a benchmark. Of course, it's also including the facility that they have, human resources that they have, and also the funding or the grant that they use. So TSE or the Times Higher Education emphasize to the teaching, research, knowledge transfer, and international outlook. But the QS would ranking use different categories. Can you see this? They use the academic reputation. Employer reputation is very small numbers in that. Faculty and student ratio is quite high, actually 20%. And the other percentage is station per faculty. So this fourth part actually is what we need to emphasize on our higher education system. So again, there is two things that people always debating. Do we need to have the world-class university, or do we need to have the world-class higher education? That both quite different. I will showing you the why this is very important to digest first. Yeah, if we're talking about the world-class university, we're talking about the high in ranking list. We're talking about the employment recognition, like how many novels, professors that they get, and everything, something like that. And then second, research that I told you before, and scale of the university. But if we're talking about the world-class higher education, the parameters become different. First, we call about the international recognition, benchmarking, partnering. So, and then the second one is been emphasized by Professor Omar about the long-term graduate employability. We cannot, our alumni, for example, if you see alumni from MIT, when they graduate, some of highest company or the best company will waiting that company to enter their company. So this is the meaning what the great employability. Excellent in teaching, learning, and assessment. This is also one part that very important to do. International performance standard, as well as the scholarly activity to support this TLA or teaching, learning, and assessment. That actually I'm quite interested what we Prof. Omar did it for her university actually. Yeah. So this is the thing that I always coming back and forth to Indonesia and talking with the Director General of the Education and debating a lot of things. We know we have what we call Tri Dharma Perguruan Tinggi. What is that? Pendidikan, education, pengajaran, pendidikan, penelitian, dan pengabdian masyarakat. This is the university responsibility actually, not the lecturer responsibility. This is not responsibility for the people. This is responsibility for the university. I always debating about this over and over and over. Yes. So what's the meaning? I'm actually physician scientist. I'm a neurosurgeon before. I cannot do, for example, research if I'm doing the surgery for 12 hours in the operating room. And there is a lot of clinicians also cannot do both or three part. So again, we need to consider this. So how the university carry track in North America, like Canada or United States or Europe. So if you see here, so we divided actually three parts of the track, university carry track. First is research track. And the second one is teaching track. And the third part is tenure track. What is the difference between three parts? The research track, we're starting from assistant research professors or assistant scientists, whatever the university would like to call you. And the second one, associate research professors or associate scientists. And the third part is the research professors. So these professors only have responsibility 100% on the research. So where they get the funding then? They get the funding from the government grant, like NIH, National Institute of Health, and SF, National Science Foundation, or whatever. They try to get it. And then also sometimes they come from the stakeholders or the private company. So how they get the salary from? They get salary from their grant. And they matching the grant. So for example, I open my part, for example, there is a hit cost when we get, for example, $1 million. So we have a hit cost like a 30% or 60% for that. And the rest is for the salary. So I giving the 60% to the university, and the university will use that for hiring the people, for building, for component that we use in the research. So 100% totally. So it means I need to survive to get the grant. If not, they will kick me out. So the research track is really very competitive. And the second one is teaching track. I think it says a lot of you know that assistant lecturers, associate lecturers, or senior lecturers. So where they came, their responsibility is 100% teaching. So they only teach the student. Of course, how they get the salary then? They get salary from the tuition of the student, as well as the federal grant or state. So then the interesting thing is that both research track or teaching track or tenure track, I will explain later, they will have evaluated every 5 years. I think Prof. Arifin already basing this thing. So if the research track, the colleague will evaluate you, and the union evaluate how many grants that you have, how many publication and everything, something like that. How about the teaching track? The teaching track, the student will evaluate you. And also the colleague will evaluate you as well every 5 years. So the interesting thing, if we can sustain the lectures, because I'm sorry to say that our barrier language barriers, we cannot explain clearly, the student will drop out from that lectures. So, and then suddenly, yeah, they will renew the contract with this. The third part, the tenure track, this is a lot of people was thinking this is quite interested. Why? Because in tenure track, the responsibility is negotiation. So in tenure track, you get the grant, and then after the grant, the university will negotiate with you. How many percentage do you do with the research or the education? If you would like to go more research, so the part of the grant will pay for your salary. So this is balance. If the part of the education cannot be covered, so you need to pay from your grant. So this is the thing that how the university look. So you can see this. So the university can cover that responsibility for teaching, for research, and everything. So this is actually one thing that I always mention to our government to impose this model, rather than asking the lecturers to do that all three. Yeah. So world-class ranking, as I mentioned to you, is composed by teaching, is almost like 30%. Research also 30%, and citation is also very important too, to get knowledge from others as well. Yeah, international look or industrial come is not much here. So how the world-class university is composed from? So again, it's coming from the concentration of talent. It's coming from the student itself, the quality of the student. Of course, when they invited the student, they try to know who student is coming in. They try to get the best student, as well as teaching staff, researcher, and also the internationalization. And also they also has the what we call the resources, abundant resources like public budget, endowment, tuition fees, and research grant, of course. And the third part is a favorable government, supportive regulatory framework, autonomy, academic freedom, and something like this. Yeah. So this is the thing how we try to compose this. Yes. The federal government and also the abundant resources is making this as technology transfers that have been mentioned by Professor Omar. And also the concentrated talent and also favorable government have the research output as well as the graduates as well. So there's one thing that quite interesting, and I will, yeah, as I mentioned to you, I would like to share my own experiences. Before I moved from University of Wisconsin to University of Florida, I met my colleague from Johns Hopkins, and he asking me to join with his group to build the new center, what we call the Center for Neurotranslational Neurodegenerative Diseases. So what the University of Florida offering at the time in 2010 or 2012, probably to like 10 years back, University of Florida is just University of Education. The level of education in compared to state is number 50. We have a 52 or 50 state, and we are is the lowest one. So what our government do? So the government of the Florida try to invite the people to coming to Florida by what? By matching grant. So if I have $1 million from University of Florida, University of Wisconsin that I got from the NIH, that University of Florida or the local government will matching that another $1 million. So this is make a lot of people coming to University of Florida, and just 5 years, we become the largest university that get the grant. People from Harvard, from MIT coming to our university. So this is the thing, how the local government also played a big role to increase this. Yes. So again, the word university methodology is about the academic reputation. Of course, we try to invite it, the best lecturer, the best researchers, employer reputation. Yeah. Then if we know there's a lot of good lecturer, good research coming, the student will coming to that university as well. And it will improve the station of faculty, the research grant and everything is moving forward. Yeah. So I don't like to talk more because it's already touching base by Professor Arifin or Professor Omar. But I would like to showing the thing about the technology transfer. It's quite interesting when I came to United States. So most of the university in US, they have what they call the transfers, technology transfers office. And then sometimes they have also hub where the lecturers or the professor or the researchers can try to build or to make the technology applicable for the market. So that's why when Stanford make the Silicon Valley in 30 years or 40 years back, it's starting from that point. And in University of Florida, we have what we call BioFlorida. So we have hub where professor or directors can come over and then try to build some business models or something like that. And the university will helping them from scratch to become a product. Do you guys ever heard about the Gatorade, the sport drink? That's the $1 billion product and become the official drink to NFL. Who made that? It's the professor or the lecturer from internal medicine department, the doctors, kid doctors, kid. So you can imagine that how the product is from bench to market is really actually become available now. And then this is one thing that also university need to thinking to prepare for that purposes as well. So again, so I try to see our university stand compared to other university in Southeast Asia. For example, Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam. Yeah, we have a colleague from Malaysia. Of course, Singapore is a very small country. They don't have any resources in their land. But they have high quality of education and international recognition. Yes, even though the institute there have a small numbers, we can counting probably less than 10. But all that university like NUS, NTT, and Nanyang University and everything is really very high class. Yeah. Why is that? Because the strong support of the government policy. And government provide enough budget to the research. Of course, yeah, and also again English courses and the quality control there is really very more higher compared to others. And the interesting thing, they always try to get the best student for all over the world. Sometimes they're giving the scholarship. I remember in 2010, I give a lectures in this, and then after the lectures is the dean is come to me and asking if I would like to join. They try to get the people to work with them. So because they would like to improve their education system and the research as well. So this is the thing that we need to thinking about it too. How about Malaysia? Malaysia also the same thing too. Have a strong support for government policy, and then also they have an English course, and many scholarships also provided for international students. Vietnam, Indonesia still deploying, but I heard I'm also a young professor at Brawijaya University, and Brawijaya also giving some scholarship, or they try to get scholarship for the international student. That will attract the foreign student to come over to the university if we can provide it something like that. So human resources and higher education. I don't talk much about this because the previous presenters already mentioned about it. But I would like to showing you quite interesting papers in higher education journal, the comparison between Harvard and the University of Wyoming. They try to see how human resources practice on that. It's starting from general recruitment until performance management. I think this is very good to apply in our university too. Of course, both of these parameters can be adjusted, but this is actually really very good list that we need to apply in our system as well. So now I would like to come over to how our education and research institution situation in Indonesia right now. So we're starting from GNP, that we gross national product. In 2000, I tried to find the numbers. So we still have in lower or middle class, and in 2021 we still in lower middle income as well. So there's no much changing in our perspective in terms of the GNP. So how about our competitiveness? So if we compare our country to another country, I only have got this until 2010, but I have also 2021. Indonesia still have a rank, above Vietnam and Philippines, but still the competitiveness that we have is really very quite small compared to others. If we see the ranking in 2021, so Indonesia moving from 40 to 37. So we still do the best compared to India and Philippines. But so if we, in terms of the productivity or human development index, so our productivity compared to the other country, you can see here, we only above the Vietnam, but lower than Malaysia, Philippines, and Thailand. So what is the Human Development Index or Index Pembangunan Manusia? So it's composed from long and hard life. The indicator that we have is life expectancy at the birth, and also the other dimension is life and expectancy index. So also we have what we call the knowledge. This is composed of expected years of the schooling and mean years of the schooling itself. And decent standard of life, of course, is composed of the GNI or per capita GNI index. Again, we still compared to others is the town year 2021, the IPM or Index Pembangunan Indonesia is only 72.29. We are moving forward, but still not much different compared to others years before. So this is a comparable between the Indonesia with others country. the human high development index is in Norway is more higher. So Australia, Switzerland, Singapore is quite interested because they have a ranking on 9. Yeah. How about Indonesia? We still have the medium human development. So we rank up 110, 108 right now. So the expenditures or the research also very small compared to other, and you can see we only spending around 2.8. Until I heard that we don't have a spending less than 3% from our GDP. So this is very important for us to know that spending more on the humans education actually is very, very important. You can see compared to others country, Singapore put a 3.8, 3.3. Japan put more on it. And again, if we see the STEM like a science, technology, entrepreneurs or maths, we always rank quite a bit low. Yeah. So again, this is the index that we about cognitive. So we rank mostly like a minus 80, 1.85. Yeah. So what the problem that we have to keep finding that education in Indonesia is really very high volume. Yeah. We always try to get to build new university. We try to get many students, but we always have low quality of enterprise itself. And the outcome is reflected by the inadequate of funding that we have, and also human resources deficit, poor management, as we mentioned before, and also the incentive structure that we have is very, very low compared to other countries. That's fundamentally a bit matter of politics and powers. And we always knew when we change our government shifts or Ministry of Education, they will changing the system, and we bake from scratch again, over and over and over again. So education and research in Indonesia, we have the disparity of research capacity across the university field, and also we have a poor research management. And we don't have any unpredictable or poor funding, even though now LPDP or the Department of Education give it a lot of opportunity to giving funding as well, but we still have the lack of research cultures, low level quality, and lack of a national research umbrella organization. This is need to be changed. And the second one is the poor integration between research and graduate student education itself, and limited collaboration with industry. So actually, I'm interested with what Dirjen Joko Santoso, Director General Joko Santoso in 2012 mentioned about. We cannot make our universities equal. We cannot make our university like Harvard University or MIT or California Technology or something like that, because the university, the research university or University Unggulan Research is very what do I call it? It's very specific and very composed with the research. I mean researchers, and also including the facility that they have. So probably if we counting, we don't have more than 5, like University of Indonesia, probably Gajah Mada University, ITB and others. So we need to focus on that. And the second university that we have is the University Unggulan Umum, where we saw that this is the balance between research and production of the human resources for our industry, for example. So that university need to be guiding to be University of Research. But again, this is need to be balanced first. and we cannot give the what extra, for example, extra attention if they would like to moving forward for this purpose. And the most university that we have is the university is what we call focus on the lectures. Yeah. Why? Because we would like to produce the human that ready for the industry. So this is actually the classification that we need to thinking. We cannot make all that university become like a research university or industrial university or something like that. Every university have their own style. University in Papua probably will be very different in university in Java, for example. So if we see how we list in for example in journal, so Indonesia
Sorry,
is
Professor
still,
Satriatomo, to interrupt. You still have part to finish. Sorry.
okay. So almost done. So our rank is quite low compared to other countries actually for the publication. So what we can do for the solution. So first we need to have a standardization, a curriculum evaluation, quality assurance, accreditation, then international class. Yeah. And then the other thing that we can do actually, we can do the teleconference, and then actually COVID pandemic is changing so many pace for the education. And other thing that I was mentioned, we have diaspora members, people in recent people that are living abroad. They have a position there that we can involving them to give the lecture, yeah, to improve our education system. Of course, the benefit is enhanced access trained professional, a special opinion, and also the reduction of travel expense. So we doesn't need to asking them to come over to university to give the lectures. Research sources, of course, as I mentioned, is very important, from government or from industry, published journal as well. And the other thing also, the quite interesting thing in United States when I came over here, they have established non-traditional curriculum to produce physician scientists. So they can become MD, PhD in certain years. So probably we need to thinking about this thing too. So yeah, to moving forward, the quality of education in for example, in faculty of medicine. Professional reward, this is very important. But it is interesting when I became a visiting professor in UTM, University Technology Malaysia. They told me if they publish a certain journal in high impact factor journal, they got number of the certain money for that, and it's based on how many impact factor they publish in that journal. A professional reward is also very important. A collaboration, yeah, multi-professional research team, interdepartmental or interinstitutional. Guest lecture, as I mentioned to you, we have a diaspora or scientists in abroad that we can utilize. So this is very important. If we can get the database from them, and then we can see the credential and qualification will improve our education in here. And yeah, again, the last one is create the new international journal. So here's what needs to be done. Human resource, yeah, shortage of qualified professional people. And we have the problem that we always, our government said about the brain drain. The Indonesian people that going abroad, whether it's external migration to developed countries from Indonesia to Japan or to United States, or internal migration from public university to private sectors. But again, one thing that we can do is we can get the brain gain from them. Meaning what? We can take their brain to give the lecture. We can make a collaboration with them. Then this will be very big opportunity for the university to use them, to utilize them. Yeah. And the facilities, again, research center and laboratory are very fully occupied and limited access for research information. Language barrier, knowledge barriers, is also become problem in our country. Yeah. So one thing I need to mention is developing countries should not follow the developed country. Why? Because the different priorities of disease, for example, infectious versus degenerative disease, we have different cultural, we have different economic and social political factor. So they need to set up their own goals and methods. And this is some method that I try to introduce, like information of scholarship, coaching methods, pre-scholarship, during fellowship or post-fellowship. And also we can do the collaboration with the institution like BRID, and also like the industry. And then again, the guest lecturer, adjunct professor or co-promoter for the certain professor from the diaspora members will be very good if we can have an access to them. Yeah, I think that's the last slide that I have, and I can entertain a couple questions from you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Professor Satriatomo. That was really complete presentation. Started with the problems and then description, and also you provide solutions. Well, I do really hope also that the solutions will be implemented soon, or at least be heard by Indonesian government, and then you know, we can have it, especially for the Tridharma things. Okay. Okay, so we're going to move on right now to the question and answer, and we've got questions for one of the participants. Professor Sahid, I would like you to open the microphone and address the question, deliver the questions. Let me see you, Professor Sahid. Sorry, Prof, we still cannot hear your voice. You're still muted. All right, so yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question, perhaps for Professor Arifin and perhaps for Professor Irawan or Prof. Masni Omar. We know that Indonesia lagged behind for more than 40 years in the field of IT. We know that. When comparing to the West, if everything is based on the technology, we don't have a discussion about the tradition, about the culture, traditional culture, I mean. Do you have an idea how we can jump from this condition? Why all of our problem is always based on the technology? So Indonesia want to be a technology country or a digital country. You know, now I in Javanology Institute and ONS always trying to grow traditional culture and value and everything. Something like why technology? So if we have our tradition, it's just like a diamond in the world. Maybe everyone will come. Just for ONS, do you have an idea how we can jump from this condition so that we are truly aligned with the West? Thank you.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that the question from Professor Said is for the three speakers. So I would like to give the first chance to Professor Angriawan first, and then later to Professor Omar, and also Professor Satriatomo. Okay, please, Professor Angriawan.
So I think thank you, Pasai, for the question. So this is a very general answer. So I think three things. Number one will be the infrastructure, the telecommunication infrastructure. And then the second one, I believe the connected devices. So the smartphone, the computers from work, from buses, from everywhere, from the forest, from the sea, from everywhere. And then the third one is the human resources. So as I said earlier, I think who is going to win the war to control the world in the future is going to be the country, the companies, they will own the digital space. So earlier, I understand the concept of 4th Industrial Revolution and 5.0 society. What they are doing is collecting data from everywhere, from the car, from the refrigerators, from your smartphones, from your tweets, from your Facebook, from your computers, from everywhere. So they know everywhere. They know everything on Earth. They know how many fish are on the ocean, how many trees, what type of trees and everything. They just have all the data. So the power is the sensors sending the data, and the cloud computing, the IoT, artificial intelligence, data processing, decision making, the feedback. So whoever have the infrastructure, connected devices, and human resources to help the artificial intelligence to make the correct decision, there will be the one that could be a very important firm countries in the world. So no wonders nowadays all advanced countries, all of them are talking about the IoT, the machine learning, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, virtual reality. So they are trying to do what they call it, I believe the term is called digital twin. So everything on Earth, there is a digital form of that things. So I believe the three things: infrastructure, connected devices, and human resource management in general, human resource quality. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Professor
Thank you,
Andriawan.
thank you, Prof. Yeah.
Okay. Now, we would like to hear from Professor Omar. Maybe you have additional or maybe like another insight, please.
Okay, yes, I agree with Prof. Andriawan about infrastructure is very important element towards the IT information technology to support our services. But in terms of, because my background is as software engineer, okay, so I believe one of the key factor also is about people element, people, okay, we have to put the right people for the right job. For example, in developing a system, we need to have a good collaboration with software developers and also of our stakeholders, our customers, our user. So we have to make sure that all those requirements can be developed, okay, can be developed right requirements with the right product or right application, so that at the end, the application will be used by the customer. Right? So we don't want to just develop the system. Yes, we deliver the system, but at the end, but our customer will not use the system. Okay. So the people factors also the key element to ensure that what kind of information system that we develop to the organization or university will be effectively used. So that particular organization, that's my suggestion, or okay, my idea. It's about people factors also.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Now
Thank you.
Okay. Now we're gonna hear from Professor Satyatoma, please.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with the both speaker, the previous speaker. So the thing that the most important thing is the human resources itself. So in 2016 and until 2020, I think 2020, I invited by Pak Jokowi to do the telemedicine in Papua. So you know what's happening, guys. When I'm over there, there's a tools there but they cannot operate it. And we're spending trillion rupiah for that project, and it's not happening. So what needs to be done first? The human resources. We need to prepare that first. So that what Prof. Omar mentioned, that human resources is the most basic step. It's quite interesting when I came to Indonesia every single year. People always use the handphone and do whatever they want with the digital. In United States, we still use the very traditional way to pay with the credit card. We pay with the cash. In Indonesia, without the handphone to pay, that you cannot enter. This is so this is need to be corrected. So we are users. And Indonesian people, actually, if you see that how the smartphone, the Indonesia, they use only for TikTok or for social media rather than for education. If we give the iPad to the student, the iPad are only just not, they don't use for education purposes. So meaning we need to prepare our generation first to accept the technology. When I joined in university in Japan as an assistant professor, I saw the same thing too. They are prepared. They are have the knowledge what they are doing. So they really utilize this technology correctly. Yeah. So it is very important to know that. The second one, again, I mentioned very interesting thing. I don't want to mention. We have functional MRI in Indonesia. And you know what? How much it does it? This costs like 16 trillion rupiah, something like that. And the people can operate it. That it's only very few, and then they don't use it in the regular basis. So why on earth that you buy something that you don't use it?
Yeah.
And then again, the third part. I just came back from Indonesia last August, and I've been invited by the Ministry of Health, and our Ministry of Health would like to putting our in Indonesia the genomic era. So they would like to mapping the genome. So what meaning? They would like to mapping all the digital diseases in Indonesia, and then try to see the disease burden. Do you know how much the NGS for sequencing gene? 60 to 90 trillion rupiah, and we need to have 6 of them to have to in all that. But I invited because why? Because the person that can operate it, there's a very few. And the second one, the reagent is very expensive. Then the doctor can interpret it, that data also very small numbers. So what I said to them, to the ministry, you guys not ready yet. Yeah. So this is the thing that we need to prepare before we moving forward with the technology itself. We need to know what this technology. We cannot just like a customers just given, but we need to understand what the purpose of the technology itself. So this is the thing that we need to. I think we need to correcting from the beginning. So technology is good, but it's like a double sword for us. It can be a good thing, but can be bad thing too. So how many do you guys know when after COVID pandemic that people is depressed because now they're depending on that smart mobile, and when they come back into the class, they can communicate to each others. And the teacher need to take out that cell phone or the computer for that thing, because they cannot concentrate in the classes. So this is again how we prepare our generation to accept that thing. This is important. I think that my suggestion to the question for Prof. Sahib. Thank you.
All right, Professor Sahid, is there still any feedback?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. We're going still to continue the question and answer session with the closing remarks. But for now, we're going to move on first to the keynote speaker session. Welcome for Professor Dr. Renat Sajidan. Okay, and he's going to deliver his presentation, UNS, Universitas Sebelas Maret Human Resource Component, inside the flagship priority program, Reaching International Intellectual Hub. But before, I would like to read the curriculum vitae of Professor Sajidan, to make you have a broader view of who's the keynote speaker's profile. So Professor Sajidan, born in Boyolali, Central Java, April 15, 1966, and he obtained his doctorate degree in bacterial genetics or biotechnology from Humboldt University, Berlin, Germany. He's currently the Universitas Sebelas Maret Vice Rector for Planning, Partnership, Business, and Information Affairs. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I present to you Professor Sajidan. Hello, Professor Sajidan.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, how are you, Prof?
Good morning. Here I'm in Lombok.
Oh, okay. All right, Prof. Now it's the time for you, Prof, to deliver your presentation. You have roughly 30 minutes. The time is yours.
Okay. You can hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. Today I have the other activity in Lombok, with Parekor and other board of trustees in UNS has activities in Lombok. Okay, I want to share my slide.
Okay, please. Yes, it's working. It's working.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We can meet today on this occasion in good health and also in good condition. It's like an honor for me to be one of the speaker here and this international webinar from book of Professor UNS. And today I would like to share in the detail about UNS human resource component inside at the flagship priority program reaching international intellectual hub. Okay, UNS is an institution or higher education has three main group that become a component of its human resource, the lecturer, administrative staff, and most important is our student from UNS. These three main group have a inseparable relation. Which is the sustain the academic activities output in UNS. We know lecture and also administrative staff and student. This is very important for us for our activity in UNS as world-class university. This is why there's three components also significantly affects UNS ranking, global ranking, I think so, and achievement, the international score, like QH university ranking, and also the other rank system is, I think, Times Higher Education ranking. So the currently UNS has about 36,000 active student. This our database in UNS, and also while the total number of lecture 792 is have the qualification of a PhD, and ratio of lecturer with PhD program, PhD degree to a total lecture is 42.83%. This is our manpower in UNS. And meanwhile, UNS has 1,946 administrative staff. This very sector and faculties, and also for the other is vocation education in UNS. So the next one is our priority program, namely EduFlagship. This priority program based on our vision, the UNS vision and mission. The vision of UNS is become a center for the development of excellent science, technology, and art. The international level based on the noble values of national culture. And EduFlagship consists of the education, finance, leadership, and government, asset and investment, global engagement and branding, services for community, human resources, innovative research, and the last one is the planning development. So, the UNSS International Intellectual Hub is very important for us. Toward what ranking 600 KS what university rank consists of the international student up to 5%, and also in 2020 our citation per paper up to 5 citation excluded sub-citation, and more than 50% of international accredited study program. And the second innovation group is the UNS Refugee Rating. This consists of a UNS Endowment Fund, and also the annual budgeting program 2 trillion, and also the income including tuition fees minimal 15%. This is our challenge in 2027. And as UNS International Hub, especially about the human resources, this is very important. This first one is the welfare incentive for lecturer, administrative staff, and student regarding internationalization-oriented program. And also the second one is the reward penalties for research performance, and the third one is UNS academic diaspora, like Professor Irawan, I think, yeah, Professor Irawan Satriotomo is expert in is a very good person, expert, and that is can be invited to UNS as the partner research and also the advisor for UNS for academic reputation UNS. And this one is the result from learning machine, the condition of UNS, and this time is the KS4, the score overall for UNS in 2027. This one, we will becoming the UNS SKS 600 World University ranking for score overall 19.63, and the international student 10%, and also for the other score is, I think, the international accreditation. Yeah, this one. And this is 2028. In 2027, this one. So the next is the information from Mr. Ewe Chong, this the regional director Southeast Asian and Japan from KS World University ranking. The information, the score, overall score for UNS in this year is 7.7 in 2023, and the academic reputation is 8.8, and the employer reputation is this one. Yeah, 7.2. Yeah, here. It can be seen the quality of human resource in the main driving force in achieving most the criteria of KS standard. This is the learning machine learning, yeah, database from machine learning. And we can look in the slide here is, for example, here the overall score of UNS for KS 2022 is 6.3, and we will achieve in 2027 is the overall score is 20.5 there. And academic reputation here today is 7.4, and the next in 2027 is 23, and another score, I think, is international faculty, faculties of student, yeah, and employer reputation, this one. So this is important information, the skill to create high quality qualification in our university's human capital. UNS is a flagship that need a captain who is able to control the university with a global perspective and based on Pancasila values. Yeah, this is the remark from our president. Yeah. This very important for human capital in UNS is the national ideology Pancasila values. Yeah. To becoming generating a smart generation 5.0, we need the hard skill and soft skill. This hard skill is like the big data analysis, the cloud computing, coding, and digital marketing. And the another soft skill is like the creative and emotional intelligence, communication skill, public speaking, adaptation, and critical thinking is very important skill for our student, for our staff in UNS, becoming generating smart generation 5.0. Yeah, this is my conclusion. The first one, it can be understood that UNS is already on the right track on and correct the direction to reach better international achievement and reputation. UNS International Intellectual Hub. One of the most important things to focus on in the improvement of human resources as the significant asset that drive UNS forward. Improvement may be done by granting welfare incentive for lecture, administration staff, and also student regarding international oriented program, giving reward and also penalties for research performance and ensuring the UNS academic diaspora. Every UNS personnel, lecturer, administrative staff, and especially student should also be equipped with hard skill, including big data analysis and coding, and also soft skill, including analytical thinking and communication skill, in order to generate smart lesson in this 5.0 era. Of course, all the improvement for our human resources should be roots and based on our national ideology Pancasila. This is very important for us, ensuring an output of human resources that the optimistic nation building and anti-radical ideology. Last but not least, everything is done based on the Chandra Skala. Yeah, this is from UNS Santi Mangesti Luhur Ambang Negara. As human resources is the key factor for development for UNS and for Indonesia. Thank you very much for your attention. Matur nuwun. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Sajidan. Well, actually, I was waiting for Dan Kasyun baru saya.
Dankeschön.
Okay, Matur nuwun. Thank you so much, Professor Sajidan, our keynote speakers. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but because the time is limited, so we're going to move on to the closing statement of each speaker. So I would like to start first from the invited speaker, and then later to Professor Sajidan as the keynote speaker. So I would like to give the time for Professor Arifin Andriawan first to deliver the closing statement of your today's presentation. Please, Professor Andriawan.
Thank you, everyone. So first of all, thank you for the invitation. I enjoy providing the speech, and then I learned from the other speakers today, and then coincidentally, Pak Sajidan main points about what President Joko Widodo has to say about the human resources reflect very well my presentations. So it's about the soft skill, it's about the hard skill, digital space and human beings. And then another thing says I learned is about the mentality, the characters of the Indonesian Pancasila values. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Andriawan. Okay, now let's move on to the next Professor Masni Omar. Your closing statement, please, Professor.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator. Okay, yeah, thank you very much, UNS, for inviting me to this great platform, great event. So for closing the statement, yeah, for this event, I would like to highlight again that every university or any organization that human resource planning is very important, right? Is a key important elements that we need to embed in our corporate planning. So when we need to blend human capital or human aspect in our strategic plan, and of course we need also to emphasize of digital aspect, whereby the information technology as enabler to support or integrated of every aspect of our work, so that inshallah our institution will be sustained. Inshallah our university will go to the first class or world-class institution or university. So that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Okay, Professor Omar. Amin. Yeah.
Amin.
I'm going to move on to the next one is Professor Satrio Tomo, please. Sorry, Professor, you're still muted.
Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for inviting me in this very good conference. And again, I also learned a lot from the speakers and also from the university professors in UNSU. I would like to highlight very important things that we cannot just follow what the university has done. Every university have a unique human resources. And again, human resources is an asset. When I was in Japan, there's the Tsukuba University, Tokyo University, Osaka University have the identity. So if UNS would like to moving forward, the UNS also need to make their own identity. So actually, I'm quite surprised, even though I don't take out from what the last speaker said. But again, try to find what you are the best in. Yeah, not all the universities need to like become like University of Indonesia or Gajah Mada University or Harvard University. Every single university they have the uniqueness, and then we try to find the uniqueness, and then we try to develop the people to identity themselves as the part of the UNS. Then at the end, everybody know what is UNS is. So probably that's what I would like to emphasize. Thank you.
All right, totally agree, Professor Satria Thomo. It's just like the best version of you, not the best of you, but not the best, but the best version of you, the best version of UNS. Thank you so much. Now I would like to give the opportunity to Professor Sajidan for the closing statement.
Okay, thank you for presentation, Professor Arifin Andriawan, Professor Irawan Atriotomo, and also Professor Masdi Omar. Thank you for your presentation today. It's very good for research, our teaching and learning here in also our school as UNS as a world-class university, and I think is we can good partnership with professor or professor here, and thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the closing statements of each presenter or speaker, both the invited and also keynote speakers, mark the end of the plenary and also keynote sessions. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for all the speakers. Thank you so much. Okay, and I'm Albert Iona. It's really an honor to serve you all as your moderator. Now I'm giving back the time for to the MC.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Albertus Yuwono, for being the moderator of the lecture session. It was a very insightful discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of the plenary lecture session. Once again, on behalf of the organizing committee, we give many thanks to all our wonderful speakers. We hope this discussion can lead us in creating quality human resources that are globally competitive. We thank every committee member, especially the board of Professor Universitas Sebelas Maret for the wonderful accommodation. We would like to inform to presenter to stay on this Zoom. The Zoom room will be open at 20:50 p.m. and the parallel session will begin at 1 p.m. And I would like to inform to all the participants, don't forget to fill the attendance form on the chat box. I'm the master of the ceremony for this conference. We'll sign off. Thank you and see you on the next conference. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Have a good life.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Atur nuwun Prof. Sajidan, Prof. Irawan, Prof. Arifin, Prof. Masni Omar, terima kasih sekali.
Prof. Andriawan,
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih semua ya, Bordeti, Pak Albert, Presiden, Prof. Irawan, Prof. Teguh, semua ya. para participant. Thank you. Enjoy the sessions.
Okay, thank you.